Hillimericks, a response in Limericks to the American presidential primaries of 2008, written and read by Simon R Gladdish. Hillimericks. A handsome young fellow named Bill married a woman called Hill. Have you seen one of these? He asked. She answered, please, the mere sight of it's making me ill. American President Clinton spent his summer vacation in Frinton. He brought a japonica plus a picture of Monica and prayed every night to St. Onan. There was an old empress called Hillary who fed her employees on celery. Meanwhile, she and Humour gobbled barbecued puma, garnished with char-grilled fritillary. There was a young lady named Humour who was hospitalized for tumor. I'm with you still, murmured Sugar Mum Hill. The rest is just rubbish and rumour. American ex-president Bill spent his weekend with Humour and Hill. Unable to sleep, he got up for a peep before swallowing a huge sleeping pill. Hill was concerned by Obama, a family man and a charmer. I'm hoping that you'll be advising me too, he laughed as she strapped on her armour. John Edwards is trailing behind with hundreds of things on his mind. His 1,000-watt smile tends to linger a while, but he's millions of dollars to find. I mustn't forget ex-Mayor Rudy, who made old New York fairly crime-free. He's not fair-faced, but he is full of grace, so he might have been born on a Tuesday. Meanwhile, dear old Huckabee Finn, uncomfortable in his own skin, finds Hillary scary, so he's pretty wary, while secretly hoping to win. But the victor will probably be Mitt, a Mormon and amateur wit, a multi-millionaire with dollars to spare and a handsome, vainglorious git. Moulding everyone to his will, Obama's roared in for the kill. Young, gifted and black, he just hasn't looked back at that speck in his mirror called Hill. Poor Hillary's starting to lose, you must have seen it on the news. As my own eyes fill up, I replenish my cup in an effort to banish the blues. As I reach for my bottle of gin, I'm still not sure who's going to win. But events have been hinting it won't be Miss Clinton, who's in effluent up to her chin. The morale of the story is this. It was known by the Greeks as hubris. When you think that you've won long before you've begun, then the gods can't stop taking the piss. I forgot to include Ron and Fred, two has-beens whom many thought dead, and old John McCain who keeps trying in vain to pack his poor pencil with lead. Barack is a very nice man who now looks like a flash in the pan. Banging on about change isn't top of the range, but he's doing the best that he can. Ex-prisoner of war John McCain has scored in NH once again. He's too old for the job and has spent his last bob, but nothing will halt his campaign. So Hill won New Hampshire at last and consigned her mistakes to the past. This erstwhile attorney has been on a journey that has left her supporters aghast. When Hillary ran in the fall, she ran straight into a Barack wall. But since she's been crying, she's proved that she's trying and a true human being after all. It's odd that her tears won the day when she's tough as a mothball in May, but the tears of this woman which no one saw coming made the ice in our hearts melt away. Bill Richardson's stuck in a rut and never quite managed to cut. He's a man who's so fat he could feed his own cat with the lipo removed from his gut. A cheater, Republicans reckon, was Mitt Romney whom fortune had beckoned, but for all his 9 lives and his multiple wives, he won't win if he keeps coming second. Edwards is a personable chap who is gradually narrowing the gap, but his prospects look gruesome. The front-running twosome have left him behind by a lap. John Edwards, the sweet-natured chap, awoke from his afternoon nap. A guy with sunglasses and skin like molasses was giving him quotes on a trap. John Edwards, the likable chap, was carefully checking his map. Where could be finer than South Carolina to arrange an unlikely mishap? Fisherman Huckabee Finn is gradually starting to win. Smooth but not spherical, this sleek evangelical has been reeling Republicans in. Rudy has been leaving it late if he wants to campaign in each state. He's been left a thin corridor of options in Florida, and Mitt Romney is his running mate. Meanwhile, lame duck President Bush continues to rest on his tush. I prefer my pajamas to those of Obama's, and I won't give up power in a rush. Bill Clinton has suddenly got gritty in a speech that was not very pretty. He lifted the lid on Obama the kid when he questioned his rival's integrity. As the candidates carry their cross in this fight to the death to be boss, you wonder what it's worth, but these people from birth are obsessed with power, profit and loss. Hey, Monica, whispered Big Bill. Look, I've just had a fist fight with Hill. I'll show you my scars and bring some cigars if you promise to give me a thrill. Oh, Bill, you sound really hoarse, she answered him after a pause. If you order 2 copies for the Oval Office, I'll be there in 5 minutes, of course. So that's where you're hiding, said Hill. I thought that you said you felt ill. You've no time to have fun. We've too much to get done, so come down from that windowsill, Bill. Up until 2 a.m. I did sit to see Michigan crown its son Mitt. He's ensconced on the throne. Well, he had to win one of a banana Republican split. Most Republicans loathe government. They believe money earned should be spent. Well, that's fine if you're rich. If you're poor, life's a bitch when your wages won't cover the rent. Home of the brave and land of the free. It's the Puritan ethic, you see. If people are poor, then we're pretty damn sure that they richly deserve so to be. Republicans flapping the flag makes politics rather a drag. Any hint of compassion makes neocons passion, you a pinko liberal commie fag. Forget the American dream and remember the Howard Dean scream. The economy's tanking, the Saudis are swanking, and the Chinese are stealing the cream. When the middle class don't have a dime and live on borrowed money and time, when each mortgage foreclosure causes loss of composure, then you know that the president's subprime. With investment at an all-time low, how can the economy grow? The future looks rainy and even Dick Cheney's thick portfolio is starting to slow. Now let us salute Condoleezza, as inscrutable as Mona Lisa. She's emerged from sorority with unquestioned authority, and grown men risk their lives when they tease her. Condi has things in common with Hill. I don't mean absent husbands like Bill. They're Scorpios for a start, secretive and apart, power crazed with a laser-like will. Condi's still in her 50s, they say, and might run for the White House one day. Although not president, she seems fairly content with her piano, her prayers, and her faith. Hillary's hard on the case. Should she tiptoe round issues like race and pretend it's not there like invisible air, like the air that caresses your face? Or should she go on the attack to make up the ground on Barack? In a contest she can't edge, Obama's advantage is genetic, his father was black. My favourite is probably John, whose chances now seem to have gone. I mean Edwards, of course, not McCain the warhorse. I'd crack open champagne if he won. Okay, end of part 1.